Walmart stores in Chicago will be closing their doors for good. Ahead of that, people will be out protesting today. The faith community of St. Sabina says it's going to be joined by local lawmakers and other church representatives at the Walmart Supercenter on South Stewart Street. Walmart says the closures are due to those stores costing the company millions in losses.
The stores closing are in Chatham, Kenwood, Lakeview, and Little Village, and one of those just had a major theft as well. 6 TVs were taken right out of the store in Chatham. CPD says a woman got out of a red Buick, SUV, went into the store and grabbed the televisions and left. Police are still looking for her right now.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, I really love these stories, okay? Because these stories are a perfect example of you get what you vote for, okay? When you vote for Looney Tune politicians, you get Looney Tune results, okay? When you vote for agents of chaos, Democrat politicians, you get chaos. And businesses cannot operate in chaos, okay? They only can operate in places where there's actually law and order. Now, I've talked about this type of story before, particularly when it comes to the city of Portland, Oregon, a city that is in the running for the most Looney Tunes, right, with San Francisco, okay? Those two cities are probably the worst in America right now, okay? But Portland has seen a lot of corporate store closures, okay? You had Cracker Barrel leave, Walmart is leaving, due to high crime, particularly theft, okay? Businesses cannot operate in places where there's so much theft, okay? There's so much theft that they can't turn a profit, right? They quite literally can't make money because the people in the area are stealing so much from the store. So they decide to close, okay? And the people there are upset, right? And we have another story here about Walmart closing in an area that is crime infested. And the people in that area are now boohoo crime foul, and they're mad at Walmart for leaving. And this place that we're talking about is no other than the south side of Chicago, which again is probably one of the more dangerous places in this country. And of course, that means it's crime infested. There's a whole lot of theft, okay, going on, a lot of stealing, a lot of robbing. And Walmart's like, we out, right? We can't operate here because it's not profitable. And the woke revolutionaries are pissed off and upset about it. They're mad and upset, and they're blaming Walmart, talking about they feel betrayed that Walmart is leaving due to high crime. Absolutely amazing stuff. It's almost unbelievable if you didn't see it for yourself. Take a look.
Well, in just a few days, 4 Walmart stores in Chicago will close their doors.
Disappointing news here for many who rely on the stores in those neighborhoods. NBC5's Sandra Torres joins us live now here with more on the closures and the impact to those who live nearby. Sandra.
Good morning, JC and Michelle. It happened with just days' notice. Walmart had just closed 3 suburban stores earlier this year. Now it's set to close 4 Chicago locations this coming Sunday. And they include the Walmart Supercenter in the Chatham neighborhood, the Kenwood neighborhood market on Cottage Grove Avenue, the Lakeview neighborhood market, and the Little Village neighborhood market on Cermak. Pharmacies at those locations will remain open to serve patients for up to 30 days, but many customers and employees are disappointed that are calling it the move selfish by the corporate giant.
This is our closest Walmart in our area. This is the only big shopping center that we have, and for a lot of elderly people, they rely on this Walmart. A lot of single mothers like me, we rely on this Walmart.
And Walmart officials say the decision to close the stores was based on performance. In a statement, they said in part, the simplest explanation is that collectively our Chicago stores have not been profitable since we opened the first one nearly 17 years ago. Employees will have the opportunity to transfer to other Walmart or Sam's Club locations as well.
So we have healthcare deserts, we have food deserts.
Yes, sir.
And we wonder why.
Yes, sir.
Our communities look like they look. That we have violence every single day.
Speak the truth.
It is just not on us. It is on the corporate citizens that come into our community and ravage our community. And Walmart, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves. You are the reason that our communities lack the investment that they have. We should not have to go out of our communities to find jobs. We should not have to go out of our communities to get medicine. We should not go out of our communities to be able to shop. We should be able to do all of this in our community.
Right here.
We deserve. We deserve.
And we demand justice.
To be able to shop.
Yes, sir.
Work.
Yes.
Play.
Yes.
In our own community.
Wow. Wow. Can you believe these Negroes, guys? I'm so serious, bruh. I'm so serious. Can you believe these Negroes? Right? I'm just saying. These people have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to come out here and to blame Walmart. Right? They're blaming Walmart for why the neighborhood that they're in is crime infested, why there's poverty, why they have so many problems. They're blaming Walmart, right? They're saying, no, Walmart is your fault, right? Because you're leaving, it's your fault that we can't have nice things. Instead of actually blaming the criminals, right? The people who actually caused Walmart to leave. Walmart's like, look, we gave you Negroes 17 years, right? 17 years of operating at a loss, aka we lost money operating in this neighborhood, in these neighborhoods for 17 years. We gave y'all 17 years to get it together, and you still haven't got it together. That's why we're leaving, right? We're not making money. Okay, it's unprofitable to operate here. But these people, they managed to do some sort of mental gymnastics to make them believe that no, it's not our fault. It's not our fault that our, communities are crime infested and that, businesses can't operate here. It's not our fault. It's actually the fault of Walmart. It's the corporate powers that be that are oppressing us blacks, right? Well, if they're so oppressive, why do you want them there, right? Why are you protesting and outraged because they're leaving? Well, the reason why is because they know what that means, right? They're losing jobs. They're losing access to healthcare, right? They're losing access to convenience, okay? They're losing access to groceries, right? They're losing access to things that, again, that community needs. But again, whose fault is that? It's your fault. It's your fault. Not only because you're not holding the criminals accountable, it's because you also vote in favor of protecting criminals and policies that are not good for business. Again, like, for example, voting out Lori Lightfoot and replacing her with an even more woke and progressive lunatic in Brandon Johnson, who believes in defunding the police and wants to increase taxes on corporations. Two things that will drive out corporations from your state or your city.
There was rioting and organized looting last night, and you're calling to defund the police. Explain that.
Yeah, what we're seeing is obviously an outbreak of incredible frustration and anguish that communities that have been isolated through poverty over generations. And what we have is sort of a typical, very standard, quite frankly, a very tired response to the regularly scheduled pandemic, which is structural racism. And that response has been to increase police presence that has not led to anything of substance to secure communities and to make communities whole. And so the fact of the matter is, because we're spending nearly $5 million a day just on policing, while families continue to experience homelessness, unemployment, lack of access to health care, transportation, you can't take a certain level of urgency to protect capital and the wealthy and not have that same tenacity to provide relief for families that have been devastated through structural racism for generations.
Mr. Mayor, this is Vlad. Let me just ask you then, it sounds great on paper, but how do you pay for it? Chicago, as you know, is headed towards a major deficit in 2024. You say you're not going to raise taxes, but you have talked about perhaps other ways of raising money, including property taxes.
Well, so I'm not going to raise property taxes. That's been the lazy form of governance for a very long time in the city of Chicago and, quite frankly, around the country. The words that President Biden indicated in his union address, he said that a teacher and a firefighter should not pay the same tax rate as a millionaire and a billionaire.
So Mr. Mayor-elect, you're not going to raise property taxes, but you will have to raise taxes?
Well, what we're going to have to do is to find the revenue from individuals who have the means to actually contribute to a safer city. Look, the bottom line is this. We have large corporations. 70% of large corporations in the city of Chicago, in the state of Illinois did not pay a corporate tax. 70% of large corporations in the state of Illinois did not pay a corporate tax. And it's that type of restraint on our budget that has caused the type of disinvestment that has led to poverty. Of course, that has led to violence.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor-elect. Congratulations again on your victory. We appreciate your time.
It taught me, though, was pushing to eliminate sort of the standardization of our public schools. My students sometimes would get frustrated. I didn't offer any test prep. Many of my other colleagues were doing it at the time. I was pushing our administration to move away from that. To be quite frank with you, I didn't issue a lot of homework for students. That was my own way of sort of rebelling against the structure. I don't think I ever gave a kid an F. I don't know how a student sits in front of you and fails. I know some professors may find that, this is slightly troubling.
Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. You can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make this stuff up. These people claimed they was concerned about crime. They're protesting Walmart leaving their community, right, due to crime. And they go and vote for a guy that is stupid on education, soft on crime, and wants high taxes on corporations, right? What do you think is going to happen in a situation where you already have high crime and you're soft on crime? You have businesses that are exiting the city because of crime, and you're saying, well, we're going to raise taxes on them. You think they're going to stay, or do you think they're going to keep leaving? And you're also, again, stupid on education, right? You think kids should be dumb, right? You don't want to get kids Fs, right? You don't really want to educate them. What do you think is going to happen here, right? What do you think is going to happen in Chicago? Do you think that Chicago is going to become the progressive utopia that the communists keep telling us will exist if you just give them their way, right? You let them have everything they want. No, I think what's about to happen here is that Chicago is going to end up a lot worse, right? And this is why, honestly, I want to feel bad for these people, but honestly, I can't feel bad for people who vote for these things. Like, you're voting for the things that you're complaining about. You voted for Walmart to leave, right? When you voted in Lori Lightfoot, when you voted in Brandon Johnson, soft on crime people, when you voted in Democrats, you vote for corporations to leave. That's what you're voting for. When you vote for soft on crime policies, this is what you're voting for. But these people can't seem to actually identify what the real problem is, which is who they vote for, their politics, and they want to blame everybody else. Oh, it's the company's fault. It's the company's fault that there's poverty, right? They're not paying enough taxes. They're not paying their fair share. The government's not giving them enough handouts. It's amazing stuff. They always want to have this argument about, poverty versus, crime, right? Is it, crime that creates poverty, or is it poverty that creates crime? I think it's both, right? I actually think it's both. I think there's no way that you can actually move forward with helping a neighborhood become economically prosperous if the neighborhood is dangerous, right? If you defund the police and you don't have a strong police presence to ensure businesses that, hey, we're not going to get robbed out of existence, which is quite literally what's happening to small businesses and big businesses in Chicago. If you don't have that there, you can't build shit. I don't care how much money you put into the community from the government, you're not building anything, right? You're not going to go anywhere because no business is going to operate there, right? So what you actually really need is that you need high police protection, right? You need police protection. You need safe neighborhoods, which only come in the form of police, right? Having a more police presence and locking criminals up, getting them off the street. And then you need to start to try to invest in those communities, right? You need to start to make those communities business friendly, okay? With low taxes. You need to incentivize businesses to operate there. But they're only going to operate there if it's safe. For whatever reasons, progressives don't understand this concept, right? They believe in, their cuckoo for Cocoa Puff mindset, worldview, that taking police out of neighborhoods is gonna help, right? They think taking police out of neighborhoods, making them less safe, but pouring a bunch of money into the neighborhoods somehow, some way, magically is gonna fix everything. And we've never seen that work, right? It's never gonna work. It's not gonna work because the criminals are gonna take over like they have in Portland, like they have in San Francisco, like they have in Chicago, the criminals are going to take over. But what we have seen that works is being tough on crime. Again, look what Rudy Giuliani did in New York City, right? Before Rudy Giuliani took over as Republican mayor, a rare Republican mayor for New York City, it was crime infested. It was a shithole, right? Like Chicago. Rudy takes over. He gets tough on crime. He does some things that are, controversial, right? But necessary. And he cleans up Manhattan, right? He cleans up the city. You got to be tough on crime. You can't be soft on crime with these people. But again, it's hard for me to feel bad for these people when they continue to vote for these things. They voted out Lori Lightfoot and they voted in Brandon Johnson, a more progressive, right? You think that they would have realized that the problem is actually progressivism, right? You need to go the other way. You need to vote in the opposite direction. No. They voted for more extremism. So again, hey, I don't want to hear the boohoo whining and the tears because, again, this is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.